before we start talking about the Spurs and the home opener tomorrow, just your reaction to the news today in the NBA with the arrest made in that sports gambling, just kind of your just reaction to hearing that stuff.
Um, to be honest with you, I'm still absorbing it. A little shocked. So I don't want to make too many comments on other people's situations and things like that because I don't know enough of the details. I kind of saw it or heard about it right as I walked into the building this morning, but my first reaction was just shock, pretty honestly.
Are those like ongoing conversations you've got to have with your coaching staff and players concerning stuff like that, and not to be involved in that, make sure that you're staying away so you don't get into situations like that?
Yeah, it's definitely conversations that we've had it as a group. The team has had meetings and discussions about the difficulties of gambling and what that all entails. So we've had some discussions. We'll continue to have some, obviously.
Sports betting has obviously been around forever, but is it strange just how prominent it is now and how much it's just kind of like a part of the everyday discourse in sports, just the sports betting and fans screaming stuff at games and that type of stuff?
I'll say it's definitely, you definitely feel the effects of gambling more in sports. Like you said, Will, based on some of the comments that's being made during games, I know there's some benefits to it, but there's also some consequences of it.
And Will, returning to the game and looking upon the game footage, I'm sure you've watched a few times. What stuck out to you? What's novel? What's new? Where you guys failed maybe in the third quarter, things like that?
Yeah, starting with the positives, I thought we came out with great energy, connected as a team, playing with an intention, playing with force on both ends of the floor, had a really, really good first half. And honestly, for three quarters, we looked really good as a team. The growth for our group is that when the intensity turns up, we saw it in the third quarter, we just got to continue to trust each other and trust in what we're doing. And that's the biggest growth for our group. I don't even think, credit to Memphis, they won the game, but it wasn't necessarily what they did to us. It was how we handle those moments and those situations. And the tendency for everyone is when things get a little tough, I got to do more, I got to do it myself. Those are situations where we got to trust each other because our inability to make reads in the paint, it kind of just led to their transition opportunities. So something we talked about today, something we'll continue to clean up.
Is that part of the reason why the offense just seemed to kind of just go through the sludges, or so to speak, because you only got like 93-point attempts. There weren't really any driving kicks, things like that.
Yeah, it's a new group, so we're continuing to work some of the kinks out. You try to do as much as you can in practices, in training camp. This group loves playing with one another, but it's all new for them too. So we got to keep working at it.
How impressive was Fears in his first NBA game?
Impressive. To be able to step on the floor as a 19-year-old, he is fearless. He steps on the floor and he gets after it right away, and that's what we want. We want him continuing to attack.
Is that a surprise just how, he didn't look like he was, the moment was too big for him? Like, he was able to kind of, stand in control, play in control. Is that that is surprising for someone that young to do that, right?
He's been doing it. So we put him on the floor. We felt really comfortable with what he's been doing over training camp, starting with the summer, but then training camp, preseason games. And, we're going to continue to push him to attack on both ends of the floor, picking up full court, attacking in transition. He's special in transition, finishing at the basket, finding teammates. So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm surprised, but glad he was able to step on the floor and have some big moments for himself.
Has he already made a jump in terms of from summer league in terms of pace of the game and the tempo that he plays with?
Most definitely, and it's a credit to the work that he's putting in. Pretty much twice a day. He and Coach Aaron Miles are working diligently. They're watching film. He's picking up things regularly in practices. So really good effort on his part.
You're watching that game last night with Dallas and San Antonio. You're watching Victor just go off for 40 and just dominate on both ends. It looks like somebody who he missed all most of last season because of the issue that he had there. But it looks like he's he could potentially be a real dominant force in this league, right?
Yeah, we all know from the time he came in the NBA that he's one of those guys that can step on the floor and lead a team. I saw some of the clips from last night of some of the things that he did against Dallas. Again, we'll watch some film on him. We'll prepare. We'll do what we need to do and come out ready to attack.
Will you have any updates on Eve and his ankle?
Day to day, right now, he'll be questionable for tomorrow. So we'll get more evaluations on him after today.
If he can't go, do you have kind of already a plan in place on what you're going to do since you're already down?
That's in the works for us. Yeah.
And
Sure.
obviously, injuries is nothing new for this team. But how tough is it when it just kind of all comes at one position, the way it has early on at the center position?
It's tough, but it's just something you got to deal with, and you don't want it to happen. But next man up. That's why we create a deep roster, and those guys will be ready to step on the floor no matter what happens and get going.
And obviously, we talked a lot about Fears and what he played last night. But what did you think about Derek Queen and just his first minutes, especially without any training camp under his belt?
I thought he gave us some great minutes. He gave us some really great minutes. He was aggressive, communicating on defense. He made some plays for us offensively. Rebound. He's a really good rebounder. Love what I saw from both of our rookies.
How many minutes do you think you could ask from Derek at this point in time?
We'll keep evaluating, keep monitoring him and see where we are. I thought he handled the 14 minutes. I think he played 14 last night. I thought he did a great job with that. We'll continue to look at it.